What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the 515 Sports Podcast here on the 515 Podcast Network. I'm Brock Durham alongside, as always, with my boy Chase Winterboard. We're going to talk a little bit of some college hoops here. We're in the full swing of things in March Madness now with the first weekend of the tournament finally over. A lot of games that we're going to definitely talk about, some great moments, and just overall news in college basketball. But as always, we got to check in on my boy Chase. How are we doing? How was your bracket, or just overall, how did you think about last weekend as a whole for the first weekend of the NCAA tournament?
Yeah, dude, it was good. Also, first and foremost, everyone, sorry if I look miserable or sound miserable. I'm getting over a cold. It's literally been like a week now, so apologies in advance if it's bad. But anywho, it was pretty good, Brock. It's fun taking those 2 days off work and just being a couch potato for 4 days. Just watching straight ball. I might be a little basketball out there for like just a couple days, but by the time Thursday rolls around, I'll be good again. But yeah, it was fun. First round probably wasn't as exciting, obviously, as like past years, a lot of blowouts and just a lot of pretty chalky, but I think there was a really good round of 32 games, for sure. And I think just kind of going forward, we're gonna see a lot better games, just with not like with a lot more like lower seeds playing each other and stuff like that, So I'm looking forward to the rest of the tournament though, for sure. I think we're set up for some really good games going forward. So but yeah, overall, can't complain, man. A lot of solid basketball, especially on Saturday, Sunday. So
Yeah, for sure. Thursday was rough for me. I was participating in that sleep study, so didn't get to
yeah.
watch. I got to watch all of the games during that time, but like I also missed certain parts. Like I think I'm trying to remember who it was. Oh, Purdue in the first round versus High Point. Like it looked like Purdue was going to lose it, or like High Point was making a little bit of a run, and I had to participate in that study part. So like I kind of missed the ending of that.
Uh-huh.
But like outside of that, I didn't miss too much. Friday was really fun. Saturday, obviously, just watching more basketball. Really no complaints, except for I had a Friday. Can't have meat on Fridays during Lent. So
Fish fry.
I actually ordered in a small cheese pizza from Casey's because I was down in the West Des Moines area for the weekend, and the West Des Moines
Wait.
Casey's,
Small cheese pizza from Casey's?
yes.
Dang, I don't know if this is really random. Sorry, I don't know if I ever had a small like pizza from Casey's.
So
That's
I
just
knew
that's kind
that
of
like
crazy.
it was literally just me, and I was not at my place, so like I was like, I'm not gonna just buy a large pizza and then put it in someone
Yeah.
else's fridge.
No, that's actually kind of cool, man. I like that.
But like the parking lot, I can't even remember which road it is. Anyone that knows me knows I can't tell you a road sign, tell you what's on that road. But it is like I think it's like right across the street from Jordan Creek Mall, and it's like the worst position Casey's ever, smallest parking lot ever. All the spots that aren't like parking spots, that like people will just take up if it's very busy at the
Oh,
Casey's. Those were
yeah.
all taken up. I almost had to take a gas pump, even though I
Oh,
didn't need gas. And then I sat
yeah.
there for like 5 minutes, like waiting for my like for anyone to
Where's
like,
my pizza, man?
yeah, they're
Yeah.
cutting tomatoes and doing all this stuff. And I was like, hello.
Can I get my small cheese pizza or
Iowa State's about to tip off in about 10 minutes. I need this pizza.
Cade Kelderman's about to play? Can I get my pizza, man? Yeah,
Yeah, I sound like a Karen right now, but
it's okay.
yeah, it was that was honestly the only complaint from this weekend, so I guess not too bad of a weekend, for the first weekend of the NCAA tournament. Um, if do you wanna get into recapping some games, or do you wanna kinda hit on some, like, of the big news involving some coaching turnover?
Sure.
I Which
We
one
can
do you wanna hit
recap
on?
some games first, probably. There wasn't a whole lot of like great games Thursday, Friday.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I'll even touch on anything. Oh, the Drake Missouri game was actually interesting. I don't really have a whole lot to say with that. But that
No
game was
comment.
actually pretty good. Yeah, no comment on that one. Um,
Hey, McNeese and Clemson was kinda probably the game of the day on Thursday. Like,
yeah, I don't want to talk about that one. You can talk about it though. I wanted to throw up, but
I mean, McNeese, like, was trying, it felt like, to blow that, and not win that game.
I feel like both teams were trying to lose that, if I'm being honest. It
The
was
fact that
disgusting.
Clemson only scored 13 points in the first half and McNeese scored 31, and it was only a 2-point victory for McNeese is
Yeah.
just hilarious. Also, when did McNeese drop the state in their name?
That's actually a good point. I don't even know.
Because I
I
swear
kind of
they
forgot about that.
used to be McNeese State, right?
Yeah, I think they actually did. I don't know.
But
That's
no,
actually
I
oh,
saw that and I was really, really shocked to see that one, that McNeese won, and then two, that Clemson was able to even lose by 2 after only putting up 13 in the first half.
13 points.
Drake and Missouri was a good game. I knew it was over in that one when Bennett Sturts hit the like one-footed
Yeah, that
3-point
was
floater.
crazy.
Like that shot. Have you ever like felt like something happened in slow-mo while watching a game?
Yeah, for sure.
That shot was like in slow-mo, and like when he put it up, I was like, oh, it's going in. Like if this
Yeah,
doesn't go in, I'll be shocked.
yeah,
Further proof that he's kind of like their main reason that they got to where they are this season. 21 points for him. Only one other player in double digits, Tavion Banks off the bench. Uh, Kind of a disappointing performance from Missouri. Tony Perkins, honestly, disappointed me a lot from being. I felt like he was a very underappreciated point guard at Iowa, and then
yeah,
going over to Missouri and only in this tournament he only played 14 minutes, obviously. So but other players, Tamar Banks only had 10 points and a rebound. Um, Anthony Robinson only had 4 points, who was averaging 9 points on the season. So a very underwhelming and not a great game from the Missouri Tigers off the bench.
yeah. They really cannot make a shot, and Drake's defense actually affected them a lot more than I thought they would. So credit to Drake for sure there. But yeah, I don't know if you stayed up for this one, Brock, but the Michigan UC San Diego game was really awesome to end the night. That was I know a lot of people were on UC San Diego. Um, Somehow I wasn't. Usually I would be, but I don't know. I thought Michigan's height might get to him, but yeah, UC San Diego, man, really fun team to watch this year.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I wish that game would have went to overtime, man. We need a B-dubs moment, but
Oh yeah.
yeah, the great way to end the night though. But
I'm
then
not
yeah,
gonna lie, that was one of the games I was going in and out of sleep, as in not like sleep
probably
study wise, but like I was so exhausted that night. I was
yes.
just like, oh god.
Oh, I'm sure you were, dude. Yeah. But yeah, like I don't know, Friday's games were Colorado State was a good one. Sorry, Brock, but
It was a good one. That was Friday, right?
yeah,
Um, VCU BYU was not necessarily as good as I thought it was going to be,
yeah.
because like it felt like BYU kind of had had the upper hand
Mhm.
outside of the first 5 minutes of the game. Like I
Yeah.
mean, VCU had a alley oop dunk to start the game, and I was like, oh, it's over.
I think
VCU
they
is
were up
going to
like
just dominate.
5-0, weren't they, or something like that? They
Yeah,
started off really hot. Yeah.
and then BYU, I do think they're one of the hottest teams in the league. I thought they were heading into this tournament. And Chase, as you know, I was texting you saying that they could make an Elite Eight run easily depending on their draw. VCU
Yeah.
was another team that I thought that, which on my bracket, I actually did put VCU in the Elite Eight. So this was not a good start to my NCAA tournament weekend. But it was one of those where it's like, okay, I like both of these to make the Elite Eight. I just got to flip a coin and choose which one. And I ended up going with VCU. Big mistake, apparently. The ability to rebound that BYU has is just unbelievable. They have two great posts in Keita and Tyrone. I think is how you pronounce his last name, right?
Wait, sorry, who are we talking about? I was looking up scores.
They're BYU's big men.
Oh yeah, Keita.
And then is it Traore?
Traore, I think. I'm pretty
Traore.
sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Both of them had 9 rebounds. Rebound differential was 40-31, so it's not completely one-sided, but BYU just looked like they were more physical down low, which kind of shocked me after watching VCU as much as I did this year. It seemed like they dominated the glass more, which I mean, VCU is going up against smaller teams than BYU was on a nightly basis, but credit to BYU on that win. The other game I wanted to mention that we haven't mentioned really from that night. Well, I guess there's one other game from Thursday that morning. The first game, Creighton just absolutely dominated Louisville, man. And I don't. Well, obviously you watched it, but like Louisville's offense looked completely lost. Granted, their defense was also terrible, but like their offense, I swear they would pass the ball once, and whoever got the ball in after that was going to try to put up something. And maybe that's just me. That's what I noticed.
No, it was nothing. I've never seen him play like that all year. So I was like, that's awesome. But yeah, I mean, I was more pissed off at their defense, dude. Like, I've watched so many games where they're just getting after their teams and like they just look slow out there. And like, it didn't even look like they were trying, just leaving so many open threes. And I, I don't know. I'm not very happy with the effort, man, especially for a lot of senior players. I know Rain Smith got hurt, which that sucked, but I don't know. I thought the effort was going to be there a lot more effort, but
well, and it didn't help that Jeff Brom got teed up when they were only down 8.
wait, sorry, Jeff. Who's Jeff Brom? Sorry,
or Brom. Sorry, that's their football coach.
Oh,
I'm already on football season. Sorry.
Oh, Pat Kelsey. Is that what you meant? Oh, I gotcha. Sorry, I was like, wait.
I'm already on football season, dude. Sorry.
Oh, you're good. You're good.
UFL starts this week.
That's fair.
But no, yeah, he got teed up with 8, like down 8 with
yeah.
How many minutes was left?
Like, it was not a lot of time. That was pretty dumb.
But it was just a disappointing performance for sure. You're not the only one that had Louisville going far. I know a couple people that had Louisville going pretty far. I think I had them in the Sweet 16 at least, maybe even the Elite 8. So, but that was just because I haven't been sold on Auburn. Which, I mean, hey, Creighton almost, they were fighting, but didn't work out. Last game I wanted to mention from that Thursday night. This one honestly probably shocked me more than any other game. Arkansas defeating Kansas 79-72. Honestly, I wrote off Arkansas even contending in this matchup. And as we will go on to the second round games, I wrote them off completely of this tournament. But here they are, beating the favorite to win the national championship heading into this year in Kansas. 79-72 was the final score, and it brings an end to what was a very disappointing run for the Kansas Jayhawks over the last 2 years with the transfer of Hunter Dickinson.
Yeah, I agree, Brock. Yeah, I don't know. I was just like, when I made that pick, I was more looking right at Kansas. Like, I just cannot believe like how bad like those seniors played. I don't know, man. I was just in shock of, I don't know. I really have no words to say. Like, I'm just still kind of stunned about that. But yeah, Cal's got the boys playing good. I was kind of talking to a coworker today too, and we feel like Cal Perry performs a lot better when he's not under pressure. We just kind of play with house money. So I don't know. I would not be surprised if they go out there and beat Texas Tech Thursday night either. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I know Texas Tech's dealing with Chance McMillan might not play again, so I don't know. That should be a really fun game though.
Yeah. Where, like, how would you summarize Kansas's kind of run that they've been on the last couple of years? After winning the national championship, they haven't had really as memorable of teams or seasons, I feel like.
Yeah. I talked to my Kansas buddy, used to be my roommate. I've been talking to him a good amount, and I think like, I don't know, a big part of it is a lot of these guys, like, they're just paying them so much amount of money that like these guys just don't really have like a killer instinct, and just like, I don't know, they're just there to make money basically. And like, that's not really how you win games. Like, you need like some killers on your team, guys who want to actually go out there and get better and win games. And I think that's part of their problem too, is they'll just pay because they have like unlimited money. So I think that's also the problem, which kind of sounds weird. It's like, if you have more money than everyone, like, you should do good, right? But I don't know. I think that's part of the problem too, is these guys are just getting so much money and they're like, well, that's kind of what we came here for. So we don't really care about winning as much as these other schools do. So I think that's part of the problem too. So
yeah. Knowing Bill Self, though, he's going to find a way to retool, rebuild, and Kansas will probably be back in the top 25, probably top 15 next year, heading into next
Yep.
season. We'll see what they'll be able to do in the transfer portal, or if Bill Self will even want to really attempt the transfer portal as much as he probably did after that failed experiment with Dickinson. But yeah, that was pretty much the Friday games. Thursday games. The Friday games weren't necessarily as memorable as well. It was kind of an underwhelming first day, I feel like, of the NCAA or the first round of the NCAA tournament compared to what we're used to.
Yeah. No, I was just looking at that too, Brock. Like there was, I don't know, just really not a lot of. Honestly, the 8-9 games were probably the best, if I'm being honest. But
Yeah.
the UConn Oklahoma game, I don't know if you watched that. That was low key a really good game. Like really good high level basketball was being played there. I know UConn pulled away late, but yeah, I enjoyed watching that game for sure. But a lot of these other ones are just, I don't know. Even the St. Mary's Vanderbilt game was like close, but it would just, I don't know. It wasn't good basketball in my opinion.
Mhm.
Sorry if I get hate on that one, but I didn't really enjoy that. But
Memphis and Colorado State, I felt like had a good first half against each other. And
yep,
then Memphis's defense kind of just fell apart and gave up 47 in the second half, which gave Colorado State the win.
yep,
But Memphis, those two teams again, two more of that list of four that I sent you that I felt like could make Elite Eight runs. Both of them are out of the tournament now. But man, Memphis had a good performance from Danger, double-double. Feel bad, kinda, that his career's over, with Memphis at least. Um, I I mean, started out at Baylor, went to Illinois for 2 years, and now is with Memphis. I'm not 100% sure. Does he have a red shirt because of he only played 3 games his first year?
you probably know better than me. I'm sorry, Brock. I don't really know a whole lot about Dane Danger.
Yeah, I don't know really what his like tenure is with Baylor because he only played 3 games that season. But yeah, this Memphis team uh, didn't have the benefit of the doubt with no Tyrese Hunter. I felt like they were just getting in a groove and really hitting their stride. They've upset teams all year long. Also have lost some games to teams that they probably shouldn't have. So a very disappointing loss, but a very big win for Colorado State and Nico Medved, who has now taken a head coaching job with the University of Minnesota. So that position is now open for Colorado State. But a great hire for Minnesota. I know I always like joke that Nico Medved is a terrible person,
Yeah,
but
you do.
the only reason I do that is because I think it's hilarious that he's like, yeah, I'm coming back next year for Drake, and then next year he has a moving truck
Yeah.
backing up to his house. But yeah, that was the only other game like really that day that I was paying attention to. I mean, Robert Morris gave a good fight to Alabama, but like
Yeah.
I
They
don't
did
know
as much as they could.
yeah. Auburn on Thursday against Alabama State was fun for a good 3 minutes or so.
Yeah. No, I would say maybe like 15 minutes, to be
Yeah.
honest. But
And then Auburn just kind of took over and just
yeah. Yeah.
dominated. But yeah, very underwhelming first 2 days of the tournament. Do you think that has a lot to do with the new era of college basketball we're in, with the NIL being a big impact and the transfer portal being as big of a deal? Or do you just think it's one of those years where, you can't always have Cinderella teams?
Yeah, I'm more of that. I've seen so many casual takes on Twitter, Brock, that it kind of drives me insane. Like I've seen so many people say that, and like I think it is partly true, but like we've had so many crazy upsets, dude. Like I think people are just getting used to like 15 seeds making the
Yep.
Sweet 16. It's like, guys, like this is not a normal thing. So I think
We're
when people don't see that, they're like,
yeah.
"Oh, college basketball is just ruined with." It's like I think it kind of is with the transfer portal, but like that's been going on though for like a while now. Like I mean, especially with like coaches too. Like I mean, if you're a really good coach on the mid-major level, I mean, like you're probably going to be moving up to a higher D1 level. That's just kind of how it's been for a while. Probably not as many players transferring for sure. But I don't know. I don't think it's necessarily all that. I think people have just kind of gotten used to a lot of crazy upsets happening. So I
Yeah,
don't know.
we've been spoiled over the past 10
Yeah.
years, honestly.
Oh, for sure.
And so the fact that the first round wasn't as exciting as usual, that's okay. That means that the teams that were ranked high enough
Good
were meant to be.
basketball.
Yeah. Um Saturday, I don't Saturday there was a lot, obviously a lot closer of games, maybe a little more entertaining for some. Games that stuck out would obviously be Creighton hanging in there with Auburn for as long as they could, but you're not going to win many games when you give up 47 points in the second half.
Yeah.
Which is funny because that's what Louisville basically did in the first round to Creighton, and then Creighton turns around and does the same thing to Auburn. But do you think Auburn is the favorite to come out of that region?
Dude, probably. That disgusts me because I had them losing the second game, but I think they are, dude. I was really looking at that last night because it's for my Survivor Pool League. Shout out Derek Queen, by the way, my boy. But yeah, I was looking at that because I only took Auburn the first game. I'm like, I just want to make the second day. They'll probably lose. And now I'm looking at it, I'm like, well, crap, they're probably gonna win the region, and I might have screwed myself there. So I don't know. I'm not really high on Michigan State, man. I mean, they played a half versus Bryant and then pulled away, and they played a first like 30 minutes against
Yeah,
Mexico. I just think their half court offense is not really. It hasn't been good all year. They're just I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not bought in on Michigan State. I think Auburn probably should be. You never know though. It is March, Brock, but
it is March.
yeah,
Houston Gonzaga was a good game. Ends Gonzaga's Sweet 16
that's absurd.
streak, first time
Yeah,
since 2014, which we were in middle school.
that is crazy. Not enough people talk about that. That's 9 straight years of Sweet 16s. Like,
And a lot of people clown Gonzaga for being maybe like the fake ID of college
oh, there it is.
basketball.
Colin Coward's out there smiling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I like that streak just proves that they have actually been consistently really good. Maybe they've never won a championship, but it also proves how hard it is to win a national championship.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah. I'm not a huge Mark Few guy, but like that's really impressive, man. 9 straight years of Sweet 16. That is not easy to do. But yeah, it finally comes in. They made it really close at the end there.
Yeah.
Almost snuck out of there with a W. But yeah, Houston continues to look pretty solid there.
Yeah,
I
LJ
think
Cryer with 30 points.
yeah, he's been going off this year, dude. Yeah, he's been amazing. I think my favorite game was the BYU Wisconsin game. I'm not gonna lie, that game was electric. I don't know if you watched that one.
Oh, so
Um,
I was with Sarah and her friends, and not many of them watch basketball, but we were
uh,
watching the game on our phone, and the entire possession, the entire last possession with Wisconsin with the ball, because we both wanted BYU to win, because Big Ten at up to that point, the Big Ten was 10-0 in the
that's
NCAA
crazy.
tournament, which
Yeah,
is hilarious to even think the Big Ten even being relevant in the NCAA tournament. But
yeah. What's going on?
no, we were the entire possession. We were both saying like in sync. We're like foul up three, foul up three, foul up three, foul up three. Why aren't you fouling it? And then it
Why'd
ended
you
up
foul me?
working out.
Yeah, yeah.
But that was a crazy ending to that game.
That
Dude,
was.
Richie Saunders is just he's annoying, dude. He's that
He
guy
has a
that
punch
you
in the face for sure.
yeah. He's the guy that like you love if he's on your team, but you
Yeah,
absolutely despise if he's against you.
yeah.
And
Oh my.
he's in the Sweet 16, maybe making a deeper run depending on how things go. Outside of those two games, I mean, Texas Tech and Drake, the only way to describe Texas Tech and Drake is just that Texas Tech was just bigger. They just
Oh,
had
for
more
sure.
better bodies.
Yeah.
But outside of the Houston, Gonzaga, Creighton, Auburn game and BYU, Wisconsin, the only other game worth mentioning really is Arkansas. Like we mentioned earlier, kind
Yeah.
of proving a lot of people wrong, especially me, beating St. John's. Calipari gets a win over Patino.
Mhm.
75-66 was the final score on that one. What was your takeaway in that game? Because St. John's, I feel like there was quite a few people that I know that had them as a dark horse champion.
Yeah, too many people out there are obsessed with the word aura and stuff like that with Rick Pitino, man. Like, if you guys actually watch St. John's, like they're one of the worst like 3-point shooting teams in the nation. So if you actually like watch their games this year, you would know that. But yeah, I think that was literally what I think everyone's biggest concern was if they have a bad shooting game, are they going to be able to win? And I don't think people expected it to happen that early. But it did, and Arkansas is starting to get people healthy now, and Arkansas has guys who can bang with oh my gosh, I'm drawing a blank on his name, Brock. St. John's big guy, Zuby.
Yeah.
Zuby yes, yeah, sorry. That guy is an animal though, by the way. Oh my gosh. I love watching him play. But yeah, I think that's St. John's problem though, is they just don't have good outside shooting, and it caught up to them pretty early in the tournament. So yeah, that was kind of my big takeaway from that.
Yeah. It shocked me, I'm not gonna lie, but once you point those things out and then I start thinking of the other St. John's games that I watched this year, it's
Yeah,
not shocking that as much as it did when it actually happened.
I know. Yeah, like 50% of people in my survivor pool had St. John's. So
Oh, really?
I was like, let's get, yeah, I was so excited, dude. So excited.
I'm not gonna
So
lie, I
that helped.
probably would have been the guy that
I
the
know.
definition of a rat line is that game right there.
True. I mean, they shouldn't lose that game though. Like there's no reason for them to lose that, but
Maybe that's more credit to Calipari. Literally,
yeah.
it's hard to imagine someone ever leaving a blue blood for a different school, and then that school he's going to had one scholarship player on
Yeah.
roster when he came there, and then now they're in the Sweet 16. Not, in my opinion, still not as impressive as taking a 2-win team to the Sweet 16 the following year.
I bet.
But still, credits Calipari for getting out when he knew he needed to with Kentucky,
Yeah.
and then taking this Arkansas team who, I'm not going to lie, early in the season, I didn't think they were even going to make the tournament. I just didn't think they were that good.
Yeah.
And I guess they've proven me wrong. This tournament as a whole, a lot of teams have proven me wrong. A lot of teams this year actually have a new coach. A lot of teams in the Sweet 16 this year have had coaches or different coaches in the last year or two, which is even more impressive, which shows you how important the transfer portal is. Because like, I'm trying to think of how many coaches were not on their teams last year. Calipari came from Kentucky, went to Arkansas. Kevin Young, BYU. He was in the NBA, right?
Yep.
Before, and now he's at BYU, which, by the way, a lot of people have compared to how he runs that program to an NBA team, and it makes total sense when you really look at how
Yeah.
that BYU program is ran.
Uh-huh.
Mark Pope, who was at BYU, leaves for
Yeah.
Kentucky. All three of those teams are in the Sweet 16. Dusty May,
Dusty May. Yep.
Michigan was not like expected to be this far into the tournament. I don't know if they were really even expected to be a good team this year. Were they?
Michigan. Yeah, they're supposed to be a pretty solid team, but
Okay.
not probably a Sweet 16 team though.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Looks like they were picked 9th in the preseason media poll for the Big Ten.
Oh, I thought you meant the country.
No,
I was like,
no.
I was way wrong. Oh,
No.
yeah.
But credit to Dusty May. Another guy that I was like, I feel like he's good, but like I don't know if it's we had a special couple years at FAU or if it's I'm a legit good coach, and I guess he's a legit good coach.
Uh-huh.
Then you go to Sunday's matchups. Baylor got destroyed by Duke. Duke. I need Duke and BYU in the Elite Eight, man.
That'd be crazy.
It would be a really good matchup.
I think Duke would absolutely kill them, but
you think so?
Oh yeah, I think so. That's just me though.
Have you taken them in your survivor pool yet?
Dude, no, that's my problem, dude. Is I'm trying to save Duke and Florida, but it gets hard, dude, when you have to start narrowing down teams and stuff.
Hey,
So
if Arkansas makes that Elite Eight versus Florida, that might. I know it's kind of a risky thing because Arkansas is on one right now, but like.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do. I can't have Auburn going to the Final Four. That's gonna really screw me. So
Yeah,
he made pull off a miracle for me, or Thomas, one of the two. But
other games that went on, Arizona was able to squeak by Oregon. That was actually a pretty good game. I didn't
That
get
was
to watch
awesome.
it live. What were your thoughts on that one?
I honestly went to bed at halftime because I was just tired and didn't really. I was upset after
I
that
get
Iowa
that.
State game, obviously, but I watched a little bit of the first half, and like Oregon was up 19-4. I was like, how does Dana Altman do this every year, dude? Like that team is the most like mid team ever, and then like the tournament hits and they look amazing. But yeah, then yeah, credit to
Just
Arizona,
ask Luka
man.
Garza. He knows what it's like.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah, but I don't know. Credit to Dana Altman. Both of the teams were phenomenal. That was a really fun game though for the first
We're gonna
half.
get
I'm
some
sure.
Caleb Love praise.
No, I'm not giving that loser any praise. Oh my gosh, someone texted me today like, I hope like Caleb Love can beat Duke and stuff, and I'm like, whatever. I had no comment on that. So
You just want Duke to win at this point, so Caleb Love's career's over.
yeah, dude, he's just whatever. I'm done talking about that guy. Anywho, though, that game was great for sure. The Florida UConn game
That was so fun.
awesome too, man. Really awesome. Thoughts on Dan
UConn.
Hurley post game? All right, I won't get you started.
I wanted to feel okay. So I'm assuming you're referring to the video of him walking in.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Where he was talking to Baylor coaches or Baylor's team is
Yeah.
that video? Okay.
That was so funny.
So I didn't know that video was a thing. And I saw the post game interview that he did for CBS, and he was crying, talking about his team
Yeah.
and all that. I was like, oh my
Boo-hoo.
God, am I feeling bad for Dan Hurley? And then
No.
I saw that video and I went, nope, nope. I do not care. I don't feel bad for you. I do like I have no sympathy for Dan Hurley and the
Yeah.
UConn Huskies. And that's coming from someone which Chase knows. I actually kind of like UConn's like program. Like I probably support them a little more than most people do.
Yeah.
But like
like
I cannot support Dan Hurley. He's so annoying.
Yeah.
There's going to be everybody remembers the I hate Christian Leitner. This is going to be the I hate Dan Hurley 30 for 30 in like 10, 15 years.
It will be, dude. Yeah. I'm so glad JJ Redick is my coach and not him. But
Oh my gosh, you guys, the Lakers dodged a bullet. I couldn't even imagine LeBron and Dan Hurley working together. I don't like the fact that was even a potential thing.
It's
now looking
crazy.
back at it is like, crazy.
Yeah.
I literally think that Dan Hurley or LeBron would probably be dead by now.
Probably, dude. Yeah, it would not be well. But yeah, that game was really good though. And then yeah, obviously the Maryland Colorado State game, dude. Just electricity. Awesome stuff right there.
Yeah,
my boy.
That's rough, man, for Colorado State. I think I feel more for Colorado State just because they are a smaller team.
Yeah.
If it was like another Power 5 or Power 4 school, I'd be like, you'll probably be back here next year or so.
Yeah.
But Colorado State has been another one of those teams that was hot coming into the tournament. I thought that they could have potentially went to the Sweet 16. Just off of the draw and the matchup, I actually had them losing first round, had that wrong, but I also had Maryland winning in the second round. So I would have honestly been fine if I got this pick wrong just because of how good of a game, how cool of a game it was. What did you think on the final play? The obviously the game winner. A lot of people were questioning whether or not it was a travel.
No, it was not. That was not even close to a travel. What are people saying? Do we have a video?
You've seen that though?
Yeah, can we pull the video? Do you have the video, Brock?
Just because it's CBS, I don't want to attempt.
Oh, we don't have a video. Okay, that's
we don't have a video.
It was not a I don't know. Just because a guy. This is like when the Euro step first came into basketball, Brock, and people are like, "Oh, it's a travel." No, just because he's in slow motion doesn't mean it's a travel. That's the most clear 1-2 I've ever seen in my life. I was
about to say, like, it looked like everybody the step that he's taking was like barely like 0.5 seconds after he took his dribble. That's not if we're considering that a travel, we need to start like, okay, where's the robot refs at this point? We need robot refs in the league to be able to tell all that stuff.
Plus, who is calling that on the last possession of the game? Let's be honest. If you've played a game of competitive basketball, are you really going to call that?
People would have complained about that.
Yeah.
If it was called a travel, more people would be complaining because it was called a travel than if there wasn't a travel.
That is crazy to call it. Yeah. even if it was, which it wasn't, you're not calling that, man. So those are my comments.
And then you got Derek Queen basically telling the head coach, he's like, give me the ball.
Give me the ball.
It's
Clean
the
version.
clean version of what he
Yeah,
said.
I'm excited for him in the league.
Yeah. It's that was a amazing moment. Are you happy for Angel Reese's brother for making the Sweet 16?
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of both of those guys. Nothing really bad to say about them, so I am, bro.
What do you think about them versus Florida?
They're about to get belted. That's what I'm gonna say. But good luck. Walter
Because
Clayton
I
is
feel
that
like,
guy.
well, I feel like Florida, no tournament run except for once in a blue moon, and I'm talking like, well, even like Kentucky's run with Anthony Davis wasn't that easy. But
Yeah, Royce White was the best player on the floor. So
and then he said that, and then everything went
sorry,
downhill.
I had to say that. That was too good.
Yeah. Someone that sits behind us at the Iowa State games, Joyce is her name. We can't hold up the 3-point sign until the ball goes through the net, and we can't say stuff that could be jinxed. She usually says, "Don't say stupid," you know what? But yeah, but we don't say that here on the podcast. But
Great family friendly show.
if Florida had to pick a game to struggle but still find a way to win in order to have a slap in the face to be like, okay, this is not going to be easy, have it against the former 2-time defending national champions in UConn.
Yep.
I feel bad for Maryland because I would actually feel more confident in Maryland going into this one if Florida would have just killed UConn.
Mm-hmm.
But Florida is now like, oh crap, this is not going to be a cakewalk, and every game is going to be a competitive one, especially because even though they are the third overall 1 seed,
Wait, no, fourth.
Okay,
yeah.
So so, but like even then, I feel like there's more people taking Florida right now than ever before.
Yeah.
So, sucks for Maryland, but maybe Maryland can prove me wrong. Maybe that's the team this week that pulls a Drake and proves me wrong. I hope not, but
yeah, I just feel like the Big Ten, dude, at some point, bro, man, like I know they've had a hot start, but like I just
they
feel
do
like
it every year.
Yeah, it has to run out not immediately at some point though, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong.
Out of the Big Ten teams, we got Purdue, Michigan State, Maryland. If you had to pick one to win the national championship, who you got?
Real quick, that Purdue Houston game is like really interesting. It's like 9:00 on a Friday night, and it's basically a home game for Purdue.
That's what I was about to mention.
Houston, big time. But I think Houston still wins that. But I probably would say probably Michigan State, man. But I just 2 freshmen that start on that team, I'm not a huge fan of. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of their half court offense. I don't think it's as good as what it has been in the past. I don't know. I don't know who else. Maybe Michigan, but
that'd be a crazy run.
Yeah,
after firing Juwan Howard.
Yeah, that'd be something. Michigan is solid though, man. I mean, I was kind of sleeping on them when they kind of went through that spell there, but they're starting to figure it out again. I don't know.
What's more likely, a Big Ten team winning the national championship this year, or having a Final Four with all SEC teams?
Neither. No. Well, now I'm trying to think of the bracket here. Who do we got? Auburn, Florida.
We basically have 2 SEC teams on both sides, except for 2 SEC teams on both sides, every side of the bracket.
I might say an SEC Final Four is more likely, to be honest, because I'm pretty high on the Tennessee Volunteers still. I
love Rick Barnes. I would love to see Rick Barnes win a national championship.
I need these guys in the Final Four. I think Houston probably does end up beating them, probably, but I'm still high on the Vols. And then I don't know. I love Bama, dude. I think they're actually a really fun team to watch.
They just have to hit their shots.
They have to hit shots is the problem. I think Duke will easily beat them though, but I think they have a better shot than any Big Ten team to win it. But
they are the epitome of what a peak Fred Hoiberg team at Iowa State would have looked like.
Yeah, I agree.
But like, it's still if your threes aren't following, have fun.
Yeah. They still, I think, have other ways to score. Like, I still think Grant Nelson can get you a bucket. Marcus Hughes can
Mhm.
get to the rack, but like, yeah, that's where like I think they have the advantage over BYU as well, man. I mean, BYU literally lives and dies by the three.
Yeah.
So I don't
It
know.
it is funny though that like we could go from an SEC team being in uh two SEC teams in each region of the Sweet 16 to having one by
Yeah.
the end of the Sweet 16, which would be awesome. I'm not gonna
Yeah.
lie.
Oh, I
I
agree.
as long, but like at the same time, I have two SEC teams in my Final Four, so that would not be ideal.
But
But I'm excited for these games. Any other games from the first round or first weekend that you want to hit on? Um,
yeah, I don't think so. I think we covered all the games I thought were pretty solid.
yeah, I don't. Do you want to talk about Iowa State season as a whole, being that this
Yeah,
is a 5-on-5 show?
yeah, we definitely can. Yeah.
Am I wrong? Like, am I in the wrong for calling the season a little bit of a disappointment?
I don't really know. I think like it was just kind of I don't even know how to like describe it. It was just like I think injuries were a huge part of it. I don't think it was the only reason. Like obviously I think they still could have beaten Ole Miss, but like I just think the team not chemistry, but maybe chemistry is the word I want. It's just hard to like when you're playing so well there the first couple of months and then boom, like mommy gets hurt, boom, Keyshawn's out, like, and then everyone's like their roles all switch, you know. Like I know Nate Heisey got a lot of crap, man. And I feel awful for the guy. He's a great player. But yeah, like his role changed, man. He wasn't used to it. It's kind of like Jiggy his first year when everyone was hating on him, and then now everyone's the biggest Jiggy fan. Yeah, stay in your lane, people, by the way. I won't forget you. But like it's just the same thing, dude. And it's like guys are trying to switch into a new role and stuff. And then when injuries, yeah, it was just hard the whole year to get chemistry down, I would say. But
For the people that like hating on Nate Heisey, if he wasn't on our team, Iowa State would have probably fallen all the way to an 8 seed.
yeah, he played great for us down the stretch. So
Um, I'm also getting tired of the people that are using social media to voice their frustration on Iowa State's
yeah,
athletics as a whole. Um, Football, it happens every year. Basketball, it's happened more recently, and I get the fact that like now we're in the NIL era where some people are contributing to certain players, and so they
yeah,
expect something out of it. Um, but I just don't like that that's a thing. I think it's toxic. I think it's gonna put a bad look on Iowa State at some point if people are because now more than ever with the AAU circuit, players are friends with each other even after they go to the college. Um, and so if someone's transferring and they're looking at Iowa State and someone's like, "Hey, don't go there," their fans will turn on you in an instant because some of them really did. And that was honestly my biggest disappointment in this year is that even when Iowa State didn't reach the potential I felt like they could have, fans really, really just kind of let the team, the players have it, and the players
yeah.
have kind of voiced their frustration a little bit on social media over the past 24 hours.
Yeah. No, I agree too, dude. It's just yeah, so many people wanna hide behind fake accounts and, yeah, message college athletes about how they play in a basketball game. It's like, let's grow up a little bit. So I don't know, man. I could talk hours about how dumb burners and all that crap are, but yeah, it's
I
just
Yeah, it's
I think it's
annoying.
ruining though, not just Iowa State, man. I think like all throughout
Yes.
college,
Well, I
but
mean, I was not necessarily innocent for it.
true. I mean, look at Peyton Sandford's whole deal too.
Yeah,
With
which by the
yeah.
way, I'm pretty sure you heard that Price Sanford withdrew his name from the portal.
I didn't even know he was in the portal, I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Okay. That was just I think 3 hours ago.
Oh, okay.
Um but oh, and which we'll hit on some coaching hires here. There's a
Yeah.
recent one that I'm definitely wanting to hit on. Um I honestly I don't know if it's actually been confirmed, so who knows if it actually has happened. Um But yeah, it's a very so I actually put injuries into the category of being able to consider this a disappointing season. That's why I do consider it a disappointing season. If that doesn't contribute to my decision, I would be like, no, I'm happy with how the season went because we dealt with what we had. But that's similar to kind of like what football could have been last year, because Iowa State football dealt with so many injuries, and even though they started 7-0, if they would have like dropped the last 6 games, finished 7-6 or whatever, or how
Yeah.
many, it would have been it would have been a disappointing ending to the season. I would have still called it a mild success. Men's basketball team this year, I'd probably give a B-
Yeah.
for my grading. I don't think it's nowhere near a C, because we've seen some Iowa State teams really fall off. So, but yeah, it's not
Yeah.
necessarily a season that I will say that was a success by any means.
Yeah. I also will mention this too because I have not seen anyone talk about it, but it's also hard to win games when your starting point guard is playing through a broken thumb the entire year. So
Along
I
with other
also
stuff.
yeah, that's actually absurd that I haven't seen anyone talk about that. But yeah, that doesn't help either, man. So
I think just off of that and how good I think he's going to be his senior year, Taman will have his number at some point retired by Iowa State.
yeah, he's
Uh,
I love that guy.
he's one of
Dog.
those guys that is the epitome of why a lot of people come to Iowa State, and it's because they fall in love with the fans, the good fans at least,
Yeah. Not
and
a burner in or soft, but yeah.
yeah, the traditions that Iowa State has as a loyal fan base for the most part. But yeah, he's been hurt all year, and he's had more and more injuries as the season has went on. Dude looked like a 45-year-old getting ready to play basketball at his
Literally.
local YMCA by the end of the season with how he was moving.
Yeah.
So hopefully he can get healed up. Hopefully Iowa State can hit the portal. I know you've been mentioning a couple of guys to me. Just keep an eye out for. I love watching like those little highlight tapes that people have been posting all over social media.
Dude, what is the oh my gosh, dude. I gotta find the whatever this YouTube channel is. This guy should be making like millions of dollars. It's like incredibly smart. Let me I'm finding it, Brock. One second. I'm trying to spare time here. The YouTube channel is hello phone.
Oh, I love that
College
channel. Hello,
basketball
phone.
college basketball scouting.
Okay,
Absolutely great YouTube channel. They just make like highlight tapes of every single transfer. It's like incredibly genius, dude.
that's awesome.
They should,
But
yeah. But
I've been watching a bunch of them, and I'm going to be watching a bunch more. Even players that I don't think Iowa State will even be targeting, just because it's kind of fun to see like where certain players are going,
yeah,
and get a good eye for like what teams may actually benefit from the transfer portal. I'm not worried about it because Iowa State's retooled and rebuilt in the portal multiple times. This team
yep,
was built honestly off the portal outside of Taman, really.
yeah.
So we'll see
TJ
where
was
they go
already
from
doing
there.
work yesterday. I can tell you that. So
I love it. Um, we can do a quick little preview of the Sweet 16 here. By the way, is your Final Four completely still intact or no?
well, considering the Louisville Cardinals don't care about playing basketball, it is
Oh,
not, bro.
I forgot you had them in the Final Four. That's my
Yeah,
bad.
it's all right. Those more, yeah, whatever. Thanks for showing up, guys. I still have 3 of the 4, which is probably good for me because
Yep.
usually I have not had that in the past. But yeah, I still got Florida, Duke, and the Vols. So
Go Vols. Dude, I'm telling you, I would. I'm not a big SEC guy, but I'll cheer for Rick Barnes to win a national championship.
yeah, I like the. I don't know. I'm just always been a Tennessee guy, so we'll
You
see.
love singing Rocky Top.
I do, man. But yeah,
Um, we'll go through these games real quick, just kind of give picks. Or I guess let's just look at the regions instead. We don't have to preview the games.
sure.
So the West region, we got Florida, Maryland, and Texas Tech, Arkansas. I'm not going to lie. I kind of expect Florida to bounce back after a close win against UConn. Bounce back after a close win is weird saying, but like bounce back in terms of performance wise,
Yeah,
and beat Maryland. And then Texas Tech, Arkansas I cannot speak now. Depending on the injury situation for Texas Tech, I would assume that they will beat Arkansas, but I know that you've mentioned that there's a good chance that Arkansas could sneak up on them due to injuries.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Florida should win, and then I don't know, dude. I don't know. I don't want to fall into the recency bias, so I think Texas Tech is going to win this. I think they're still a very solid team, but I'm not a huge betting analyst, I'll tell you that. But I was kind of surprised to see the line was at 5.5 for Texas Tech.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it'd be a lot closer than that. So I don't know. You might have some value in Arkansas if you like betting. Don't take that as advice. I'm not a advisor or anything. So, but I think there's value there. So should be a good game.
Chase is my bookie.
No, I don't know anything. So,
yeah, and then I'm assuming we both still have Florida coming out of this region.
Oh yes, yep. Walter Clayton, man.
Love it. Houston, Purdue. This is the Midwest Regional. Houston, Purdue. Again, you mentioned 9:00 on a Friday. It's pretty much in Purdue territory. How did Houston pull that? Like, how did Houston get screwed over where they have to play a road game as a 1 seed?
Yeah, that's tough, man. That'll be interesting. I think they still win, but be interesting though.
I'm going to go Houston as well, and then Kentucky, Tennessee. I think Tennessee is going to be able to get the win out of this one. Tennessee's been able to step up in a lot of big games this year, so yeah.
Yeah, I did find it interesting though. Kentucky is 2-0 on the season series this year, so
you know what they say.
Yeah, I think that's actually a load of garbage. What they say, Brock. That's just my personal opinion. But
you think it is easy to beat someone 3 times in 1 year?
If you already beat them twice, why can't you beat them?
I'm kidding.
I think that's whatever. But I don't know. I think Tennessee, dude. I don't know. They have too much fight in them. I think this Kentucky team relies a lot on their shooting. And I don't know. We'll see.
I'll be interested to see the crowd for that game. Because, I would say compared to, most teams for certain regionals, that's not a terrible travel, for both Tennessee and Kentucky fans.
Yeah.
And both teams travel really well, especially Kentucky. So maybe Kentucky could have some sort of an advantage heading into that game, based off of the fans. But I actually still think Tennessee is going to be able to come out of this region in the Final Four. I don't need to necessarily give a reason, just because I'm sticking to my guns. I still have my entire Final Four together, so I'm going to stick with that and have Tennessee beat Houston to go to the Final Four.
Yep. That should be a good game, though.
Who do you got coming out of the Midwest?
Midwest? Probably, I don't know. I'm probably still gonna go Tennessee, but I could see it being a toss-up, though. I don't know.
Yep. Arizona, Duke, and BYU, Alabama is the Sweet 16 matchups for the East Regional. BYU, again, has been feeling it recently. Arizona had a good game against Oregon. Caleb Love had a decent performance as well. Duke, though, has been dominating in this tournament. Cooper Flagg and company. Cooper Flagg took a poke to the eye, looked like it was going to swell up and be a black eye, and still balled out. So Duke, Arizona, I'm not going to lie, just because I saw a lot of people choosing Duke to win the national championship, I wanted to take Arizona in this matchup because, I love taking Arizona way too far into the tournament. But I decided to go with Duke in this one. And then BYU, Alabama. My Elite Eight was VCU, Duke. And I said whoever won that matchup between BYU and VCU is going to go to the Elite Eight. So I'm going to stick with my guns, and I'm going to go BYU versus Duke in the Elite Eight.
Yeah, I'm going Duke, Bama. I'm sorry, BYU, your cute run's over. It's over, man. I'm sorry. So I'm taking a BYU team on steroids, basically, is who I'm taking in Bama. And then, Duke's just I still think Duke's running this region, so.
Yep, I agree. Auburn, Michigan, Ole Miss, Michigan State. Big Ten versus SEC challenge, basically, for 2 matchups.
Yeah.
I think Auburn's I think it's gonna be Auburn, Michigan State, and strictly because I had Louisville in my Elite Eight.
Wait, you did?
Yeah.
My boy. Oh, boy.
unfortunately.
Yeah, that's all right.
But I'm still going to take Michigan State to go to the Final Four. It's not necessarily because I think they're better than Auburn. I just am going to stick with my guns in my Final Four picks of Duke versus Tennessee and Michigan State versus Florida. So give me Michigan to go to the Final Four. But I still think Auburn.
Well, you
I
got
think
Michigan going to the Final Four?
Michigan State.
Oh, okay.
But if I was to have to like make it based off of matchups right now, I think Auburn is going to be my pick. But I'm going to go Michigan State though.
Yeah. I'm probably I think it's kind of wow, my mind's blank. Sorry, Brock. This matchup though between Auburn and Michigan is kind of fun because it's literally the guy who ended the Auburn season last year, Danny Wolf, playing in the Sweet 16. Plus, it's also old teammate Trey Don on Michigan as well, playing against Auburn. That's kind of a crazy matchup. I don't know. I just think Auburn's gonna be ready to go this time around. I don't think Danny Wolf's gonna end their season twice. If he does, that would be awesome. I'd be here for it, but I just don't see that. And then I don't know, dude. This might be a crazy take, but the more I think about it, I might have Ole Miss beating Michigan State.
I think it's gonna be a lot closer than people think.
Just because of I think they have more experience, and I really don't. That Fears guy, man, he's not good on offense. I'm sorry, dude. He's really like great IQ, great heady player, but like I don't know, man. I like the experience, and I know Ole Miss is not a good 3-point shooting team, but when they play Iowa State, they suddenly are. So, but I still think I don't know. I'm gonna take Ole Miss here, and then the old SEC Elite Eight. I'm probably gonna take Auburn, just because knowing my luck, the team I picked first in Survivor Pool will just find a way to screw me over. So I'll take Auburn.
So then you got Auburn versus Florida and Duke versus Houston or Tennessee.
I'll take Rocky Top still.
So you got literally what my Final Four was for my bracket heading into it. So that's
really,
I love it.
Yeah, probably won't happen, Brock. I know nothing, but
wait, no, you have Ole Miss. Sorry, I have Michigan State. That's the only difference.
Gotcha.
But yeah, that's pretty much all we got for this week. I think we can talk about coaches probably after the season, the coaching changes and stuff like that, because I feel like
there's probably a lot more that's going to happen. But
because like I don't know if like there's been an official announcement on Villanova, but it sounds like Villanova is getting close.
Oh, who are they looking at? Dude, someone
right now looks
me,
like.
Oh, sorry, what? Someone texted me, is TJ Altsberger interested in the Villanova job? I laughed my butt off. I'll say that.
It looks like Richard Pitino is the leading candidate right now.
Really?
Which Villanova versus St. John's might be a good matchup next year. Then.
Whoa, that'd actually be crazy.
I'm not gonna lie. I think Richard Pitino should stay at New Mexico.
Yeah, he's done a great job there, man. Donovan Dent, I did see his transferring today, but he's done a great job for sure.
But that's just my thoughts. We'll be able to talk more about that probably heading in the off season as well as the Final Four, because we'll be back next week to talk about the Final Four and the national championship. Hopefully, Florida, Michigan State, Duke, and Tennessee all make the Final Four, so I can get
anyone but Auburn, dude. Anyone but Auburn, please. So,
but yeah, any final thoughts before we sign off here?
No, sir. There should be a lot of good basketball going forward. So, also opening day for everyone on Thursday. I know this is a basketball podcast, but tune in to the Dodgers Tigers at 6:00.
Let's go Dodgers!
Thank you, Brock.
Yeah, it's going to be an exciting year for the Dodgers, obviously.
Yes.
Also, shout out the Royals just because of Bobby Witt.
Bobby Witt.
You just have to.
Yeah, Royals Guardians at 3:00, I think. Shout out P-Dad and Bobby Witt. So.
Yes, sir. All right. For Chase Winterbore, I'm Brock Beerman. We are the 515 Sports Pod crew. We will be back next week to talk some more hoops. But enjoy the games this week. Make sure to watch the Battlehawks on Friday. Cause Law. I know you're not a big fan of Max Duggan, but Hakeem Butler's going to get some tutties.
Forgot about that. Yep, I'm not. I'm signing off.
All right. For Chase Winterbore, I'm Brock Beerman. We'll see you all next week.